Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 8th of February 1975, and the title is A Stable Stage While Seated on the Seat of Faith. Do all of you experience yourselves to be seated on the seat of faith? The seat of faith doesn't sometimes shake, does it? Is your seat of faith so unshakable that no matter how much any type of situation, element, or person tries to shake that seat, it cannot be shaken? Those who are constantly stable on the seat of faith are remembered as the victorious ones who have faith in their intellect. Therefore, the sign of remaining unshakable is to be constantly victorious over every thought, every word, and every deed. Do you experience yourself to be such a victorious jewel? You are not going to be shaken by any situation, are you? Those effort makers who think that there can be upheaval created by a situation, or who have such type of thought, raise your hands. Is there anyone here who feels that? Yes, this can happen. If you don't raise your hand now, just be careful, because a difficult paper is still to come. So what will you do then? If all of you are to pass in the paper, no matter how difficult it is, then are all of you ready for announcing the date of that paper? At that time, you will not then say that you hadn't understood this aspect, or that you hadn't thought about it, and that this is something completely new, will you? The test of faith is that whatever you consider to be possible will come to you as an impossible test paper. Will you be able to remain unshakable at that time? There are 4 main aspects to becoming one who has faith in the intellect, and you need to check the percentage in all 4. You know these 4 things, and even you follow them. 1. Faith in the Father, who and whatever He is, to know and to accept Him in whatever form He is playing His part. 2. To clearly know and accept the knowledge received from the Father through experiencing it. 3. Whatever you are, however you are, that is, to know, to accept, and to conduct yourself according to the importance of your elevated life, of this spiritual birth, of the elevated Brahmin life, of your elevated part, of your elevated stage and position. 4. To know the present, most elevated, auspicious, beneficial time of the stage of ascent, and to take every step accordingly. To have complete faith in all these 4 aspects in your practical life is known as being victorious by having faith in the intellect. You also need to check the percentage in each aspect. Don't just become happy because having faith, but also check if you have a high percentage. If in even one aspect the percentage is less, then the seat of faith can shake at any time due to any minor situation. Therefore, check your percentage, because the time for becoming perfect is now coming close. So even a little weakness can cause great loss at any time. For the purer and more subtle pradhan you become, whatever you today consider to be a little weakness or experience as an ordinary state would be very clearly visible on a very pure and clean stage. Therefore, have such subtle checking from now and make intense effort to overcome your weaknesses. Day by day, the more elevated you become, the more well known you will become to the eyes of all the souls of the world. Everyone's vision is increasingly falling on you. Everyone is now waiting for the time when souls who are instruments for establishment will accomplish their task of establishing a new world of peace and happiness, so that on the basis of this establishment, this sorrowful world can be transformed. Their vision is on those who are carrying out establishment. But where is the vision of those who are carrying out establishment? Are you engrossed in your task, or is your vision on those who are to bring about destruction? You are not moving along on the basis of hearing the news of the instruments for destruction, are you? Do you also become slack when they become slack? Is destruction to take place on the basis of establishment? Or is establishment to take place on the basis of destruction? Those who are carrying out establishment have become instruments to intensify the flames of destruction. It is not that those who are to bring about destruction are instruments to intensify the effort of those who are carrying out establishment. Those who carry out establishment are images of support. Those who are such images of support are not fluctuating on hearing about destruction, are they? Will it happen or not? What will people say? What will people do? Faith means not to have any questions of why, what, or how, even in your thoughts. Because the royal form of doubt is in the form of thoughts, you sometimes say that you don't have any doubts, but that you have this thought. So where is that thought born from? Since you are those who have complete faith in all four aspects, can you have any such thoughts arising? Since this is the beneficial age, and you are the souls who follow the elevated directions of the benevolent Father, you cannot have any thoughts other than those of benevolence and the stage of ascent. For such souls, their every thought for a particular task at every moment is powerful. It is not a wasteful thought. You are not afraid, are you? Thinking of what you will have to face? To take a paper means to move forward, that is, to come very close to perfection. This paper is now about to come. If you have a clear intellect, you will be able to make others clear also. This doesn't mean that you should think that it is not going to happen. Whatever happens within the drama from time to time, it is like pulling a hair through butter, is it not? Has anything been difficult? Bab Dada has seated you in his eyes and on his heart throne and is taking you across, is he not? Will anyone else fulfill the promise and the task of being with you till the end and of taking you across any situation? The Father has to take you with him. What would you call it if a Master Almighty Authority has these types of thoughts? Finish such wasteful thoughts and remain engrossed in the task for which you are instruments and Bab Dada's helper. Intensify the fire of this deep concern, and through this, the fire of destruction will also become intense. First of all, sacrifice all your weaknesses and shortcomings in the sacrificial fire of the imperishable knowledge for which you, Brahmins, are the instruments. Only then, when the sacrifice of the entire old world is made, will there be completion. Now strike the match of determined thought, for only then will this task be accomplished. Acha, to those who remain engrossed in this deep concern, to those who accomplish their task while being seated on the seat of faith, to those who remain unshakable and immovable in every situation, to the cooperative souls who are always close to Bap Dada, to such loving souls, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Avyakt Bap Dada meeting a group. Contentment is a sign of perfection. Can you all know your features and your future at this time? The closer you come to time, do you also experience the signs of perfection in yourself according to the time? What are the main signs of perfection? In which main aspect would you experience the soul coming close to perfection? The main aspect is that such souls would experience themselves to be constantly content in all subjects, and together with this, other souls would also be content with them. So contentment is a sign of perfection. The more response you receive from all souls at every moment of blessings as well as their subtle love and cooperation, the more you will understand that you are moving close to perfection to that extent. The wonder is that no matter what type of sanskars a soul has, or how is discontented a soul who comes into contact with you is, when in contact, those souls should realize that their discontentment is because of their own sanskars, and that you special souls constantly have eyes filled with love, cooperation, and pure feelings of mercy for them. That is, those souls should realize their own weakness. They should not complain that the instrument souls are not able to make them content. You should receive from all souls the certificate of being such a jewel of contentment, for only then would it be said that you are moving close to perfection. The more perfect you become, the more the contentment of other souls will increase. What is the main method to keep everyone content? Many people replied, all these things are also necessary. You have to do all these things practically when situations arise. The main thing is that you should be able to mold yourself according to the time, the situation, and the soul in front of you. You should not be under the influence of your sanskars or nature. Just as you adopt a physical form according to the time, or you dress according to the country you are in, so you should experience your nature and sanskars in a similar way. Do you experience it to be as easy as that? Are you able to transform your sanskars and nature according to the time? Anything that is hard cannot be molded. Similarly, you are not able to mold your strong sanskars according to the time. You should practice this. You should not even have the thought that you have any sanskars or any nature. Only your original and eternal sanskars should be in your form. Transformation of sanskars exists from the beginning of time. That is, There is transformation taking place from the moment you enter the cycle. So the soul automatically has the practice of transforming sanskars. The sanskars are constantly changing. Therefore, they are sometimes sato-pradhan, sometimes sato, sometimes rajo, and sometimes tamo. Now, since you are knowledgeful and playing a part as an actor on the most elevated stage, and since you are also powerful, blissful, and have a right to the inheritance from the Almighty Authority, it should be extremely easy to transform your sanskars either for your own progress or for the benefit of others, according to the time or according to the service. This is the special final effort of special souls. Do you have the experience of making such effort? Can you check your number from this? Or can you tell the results of your confluence-aged future from this? You are special souls who are the instruments. Are you not? So look at the percentage of this. Are you able to use your sanskars and nature as weapons, or is this difficult? To what percentage do you have success in this aspect? It should not be something where others are pleased from a distance or where you have stepped away from everyone else. While coming into contact with others, while in relationship with others, if you become an embodiment of success while you yourself increase your contact and relations, then you can claim a number one ahead. An unlimited master has to have unlimited relations. So how will that happen? Some say that they don't have a chance. However, you are made an instrument worthy for a particular task by your own capability and worthiness. This year, show such specialties as you saw in Sakar Baba. The sound emerging from everyone's heart was, "My Baba." No matter who it was, everyone said, "My Baba." This was the experience of every soul. Until this sound of love, of all rights, and of belonging to the special souls emerges from all souls, understand that you cannot become a master of the world seated on the throne of the world. You should be able to see such signs of success. Each one should experience you special souls being there for bringing about world benefit. This is the sign of perfection. Acha, blessings. May you be an embodiment of power who finishes the iron-aged mountain of weaknesses with determined thoughts. To be disheartened, to be influenced by any sanskar or situation, or to be attracted by any person or material comfort, these weaknesses are the iron-aged mountain, which has to be finished by giving your finger of cooperation, which means to become victorious. By constantly having the awareness of victory being the garland around your neck, become an embodiment of power. This is the return of love. Just as Sakar Baba demonstrated this by becoming a pillar of strength, in the same way, follow the Father and become a pillar of all virtues. Slogan: all facilities are for doing service and not for becoming one who loves comfort. Om Shanti, Om Shanti.